Hello, and welcome to Bishop's Cleeve Primary School. Welcome to all those new families joining us September for the first time, and also welcome back to the families who will have children with us already part of our family. Whether you're new to the school or whether you have children with us already, each child's starting school is really special, and we recognise that, and we've put together an induction plan that settles your children in a supportive and gentle way. I'd like to say thank you for your patience for this time, and we are delighted that although slightly delayed, we are able to stick to our normal induction programme with some additions to help the transition. First, I'd like to introduce the team. We'll have 4 classes with us in reception next year. So there'll be class RPO, so that'll be reception, Potts and Osmond. That'll be with myself and the early years lead, Mrs. Potts, and then Mrs. Osmond will be taking the class on a Thursday and Friday. We also then have RK with Miss George, who is on maternity cover for Mrs. Peters. And then we have RM, previously known as RC, as Miss Clark is getting married this summer, and so she will be Mrs. Bassingham. And then in our 4th new classroom, we have Miss Singh. Miss Singh is new to BCPA, and she'll be joining us all the way from St Ives. So we look forward to inducting her and meeting her, as well as her meeting you. We have gone to 4 classes this year in reception due to the increased demand for places in Bishop's Cleeve. So we're really proud to be able to offer places to more children this year and be an extra support and part of that community. Reception will still be all together in the same wing. We are setting up a brand new classroom adjacent to RPO classroom, and so the reception will still have its own wing, and all classes will still be able to have access to our lovely reception garden and outside area, as well as lots of lovely resources and materials to support our learning. So that's the team. All the teachers have made a little video that will be uploaded at the same time as this presentation onto Facebook and onto the website, with just a little introduction from them, so that the children have something to kind of look at, get to know their teacher a little bit, to see a friendly face. So that hopefully will help the children when preparing for school. And then they're also there for you to watch over the summer again and again, to show grandparents and aunties and uncles and things. And we found that we did this last year, and it really helped. It was a lovely part of the induction process, although a little bit cringe for the teachers. So hopefully you'll find those helpful in inducting and helping to explain your children about who their teachers are. Soon you will receive an email with your induction pack. In your induction pack, there will be sheets like this. There will also be a map of where to come for some of the sessions for induction that we are offering. There will also be a letter that explains everything that I'm explaining now. And so what I'd like to do is to start by drawing your attention to the top of your letter, because these will be slightly different for different groups of children. At the top of this letter here, it will tell you which child is in which class. So if you look up here, if you receive this one, then you will be in RS with Miss Singh. And also then across the side, it tells you what induction group your child will be in. Your child will either be in group 1 or 2. So these are really, really important to know, so that we're on the timings then that I'm about to go through on the induction programme that are here when those sessions are for your children. So we are pleased to be able to offer children the taster sessions that we would normally offer the children. These are a brilliant way to get the children have it literally what they sound what they say, so a taste of school. So they'll have a taste of school, and they'll come in and have the opportunity to meet their class teacher, to get to know the classroom, and to get to play with the toys, to have a story, and also to meet some of the other children that will be in their class. Now, so this isn't too daunting. We have split each class into 2 groups, and we've done this alphabetically because it's the simplest and fairest way to do it. Previous years, it's been done in different ways, and for example, it's been done, you know, whether on birthdays, whether you might be autumn or spring or summer born. But we found that actually just splitting the class into 2 groups of 15 alphabetically is the simplest and easiest thing to do. So you'll need to know that whether your child is in group 1 in the class or group 2. So these are the sessions that will then relate to the sessions down here on your induction programme. For the taster session, so each child will be offered 2 taster sessions, one on the week of the 7th and 8th of July, and then one on the following week of either the 12th and 13th of July, depending on if you're group 1 or group 2. Written in here is where you'll need to come, what you'll need to bring, and then it's really handy to have a look at the map, especially if you're new to the school, because this is where you will enter down through the reception gates that's next to the community centre, and then if your child is in class RM, you will enter through this door, because the class door, outside door for RM, would then block the entrance. So RM, you'll be coming straight through the gates next to the reception wing, which is this wing, okay, and then you'll be turning left into there to get into the classroom. The other classes you'll carry straight onwards, and then you'll turn left and along the pathway, and then we'll have members of staff to guide you as well. And then RK will be here, and then RPO you'll be able to go directly also into your classroom here, and then RS just a little further along. You're coming through the infant hall doorway, and then come into your classroom, which is here and here. It's kind of been set up that you'll have 2 parts to your classroom, a lovely, lovely big area. Okay, and then you'll exit once you've dropped children off the same way out. Because we've organised the children into 2 smaller groups, it will allow social distancing for parents to be able to bring their children into the classroom, drop them off, and then walk back out. At the moment, we have a whole school system that is one way, but because it's obviously going to be reduced numbers at different times, then we can allow for the social distancing there. The slight change this year, if you've had children at our school already go through the induction programme, is that the taster sessions are running after school. This is to help us limit the number of children and adults that are on the school site at one time. So the easiest way to do that is to have the children come in after school. That also helps us with the current reception children that we've got, and then keeping them in their bubbles as well. So those will be the 2 taster sessions that your children will be invited to. They don't need to wear school uniform to it, although if you have got it already and they want to wear it, they're more than welcome to. We've just asked they just bring a drink and a sun hat, which hopefully they might need, because we'll go out in the garden, and then a coat maybe if the weather's not too great. When they come in for the session, you can settle them in, drop them off with their teachers, and once they're settled, then if you leave them and then go across and get a coffee in Costa or something, and then come back at 4:30. We have asked that please don't arrive earlier than 3:30, just due to the current school children. Their last wave of parents picking them up will be 3:20. So just to help with the ease of the traffic flow of people around the school site, please don't arrive early for your taster sessions, because I know you'll be keen. So there's 2 taster sessions offered just in July, and again they're arranged alphabetically. So the first half of the children in the class alphabetically will be group 1, and then the second half will be group 2. And then those children's groups are the same for the induction fortnight, which I'll go on to explain in a minute. So by the end of the term, the children will have had 2 taster sessions of their of school. They'll have met the teachers and teaching assistants in their class, and hopefully met some more of the children in the class and started forming some new friendships, as well as maybe continuing some other friendships too that they might know from preschools and preschool settings. We've tried as best we can to put children from preschools within the classes so they'll know each other. There should be, if I've had to split a larger group from a preschool, then I've always kept a big group of children together in those classes. So hopefully if your child is coming and those are the children from their preschool, they should be in the same class just to help with transition. Although children do make new friends. We used to sing this, year upon year. The children will come in with lovely friendships, but they'll also make new ones which will flourish and grow as the year goes on. In addition to our induction program this year is the Meet the Teacher days, which will take place on the 2nd and 3rd of September. So we're not having children into the classroom then when the rest of the school children will start. What we're doing is we're offering the chance and the opportunity for parents and families to come and meet us on a one-to-one basis, so that we can get to know you, you can get to know us a bit more confidently, because we appreciate that we haven't had that chance really yet to get to know you, especially if you're new to the school. So they will run a bit like a parents' evening. You'll receive information on how to sign up, and they will run from 9 till 6 on those 2 days, and you'll just be offered to sign up, a place to sign up for a session to come into school with the children and come and meet us, come and ask us any questions, come and tell us about yourself and any important things that we need to know before the children are starting, really, so we can help with that. And that's to start our new relationship off together. So we're offering those for a first. We're hoping that you will find those useful, as well as we will find it very useful as well. And then the children, they will start their first days of school in the following week. And we call this the induction fortnight. All children will be coming to school for part of the day. So if your child is in group 1, for example, they will come in that week for the mornings and then go home before lunchtime. And then if your child is in group 2, they will be coming after lunch for the afternoon and going home. And then the second week we swap over so that all children get a chance to have a morning session and an afternoon session. So group 2 in the second week will come in the mornings and go home before lunch, and then the group 1 children will come after lunch for the afternoon sessions. So by the end of the induction fortnight, all children will have experienced a morning and afternoon session in school. By then the third week of school, children have been inducted, they've got used to their classroom, they've started making new friends, and they're ready to take up the challenge of staying all day. We've found that by having the induction fortnight, and because children have been used to going to preschools and nurseries, the children are ready to accept a new routine after 2 weeks. So the children on that third week will be staying all day and staying for lunch. If over the induction fortnight there are any children that we think and that you as parents think might struggle with a full day and a full week, then we can talk about that towards the end of the second week to sort out any arrangements. After that, we will have, and the date is still to be arranged, we hope to have a parents' evening where we invite you in and where we can talk about a bit more about the reception curriculum, how we teach the children in school, what the children will be learning, what types of activities, and also how you can then help at home. So a bit more of the technical side, I guess, of school life. So that will come shortly after, starting towards the end of September, beginning of October. So far, you should have had that was sent out on from Miss Swan when you first received your place here at Bishop's Cleeve, the All About Me booklets, the data collection sheets, and the photo permission sheets. it's really, really important that we have these documents back. So if you if you haven't had these documents, then please contact the office to ask them to get them sent out, because it might be that we haven't got the correct email address for you, for example, or that we get when we have the children's details of coming to school is the parent who filled in the admissions forms email, as well as then the children's date of birth and what preschool they went to. We haven't got any of them, so we haven't got phone numbers or any other information. So it's really, really important that even if your child is a sibling, because it won't necessarily match up until we start putting the data into our school system, it's really important that we have all these documents back. The All About Me document is a great way for the teachers and teachers assistants to really get to know the children before they start, so we can feel like we know the children already. It's also a nice process for you to go through with your children, and it gets them that conversation about talking about school and getting them ready, because for some children, especially if they're not a sibling, this is their first experience of school, it can be quite an alien concept of going to big school. So it just helps to explain about going to school and what they're like, things they like, and things that they might be worried about, so we can kind of think about those in advance. On the data collection sheet, it's really important that you put down any dietary needs or allergies or medical information that we need to know, because then that will inform us of things like lunch choices that the children need to have and we need to accommodate for. So it's really important that we have up-to-date knowledge for that. And I would say that as the year progresses, if any medical conditions change or anything, it's really important to keep all your phone numbers or addresses. It's really important that you let the office know so that we can update our records. Also, there is the welcome booklet for parents. We've called it the handbook for new parents, but also actually for existing parents, we find that they find this quite useful too, and it's a bit like the Bible of the school. It's knowing all of the information that you need to know. So it talks about uniform, what the uniform is, and where you can get the uniform from. I would say most supermarkets and places, you can buy the uniform in from. If you wanted more branded things, such as the cardigans or jumpers with the school logo embroidered on it, then there are details in the handbook about where to order those from. It goes to about the timings of the school day, although I would say those times of the school day aren't applicable at the moment just because of COVID. So because of the different waves of children coming in at different times, then those aren't true at the moment, but I'm sure hopefully one day soon they might be back to how they were. It talks about dropping off and collecting children, reporting absences, about our SMS texting service to parents, about the parent pay, which is for the way our cashless system works in school to pay for things like school trips, or when the children get up to juniors, that they'll need to start paying for school dinners. And it goes through things like allergies, medicine, fruit and milk that the children are allowed to have. The children are automatically signed up to have milk in reception, and that stops when they are 5. So it's free for when they're 4, and when they're 5, there will be details on the Cool Milk website on how to apply for that and how to pay for it. Each day the children get the school's provided with fruit. We don't know necessarily what fruit it will be in advance, but there's generally always a selection over the week of things like pears and apples and bananas, tomatoes, sometimes the occasional strawberry in the summer term. If, however, your child can be quite fussy, it's worth putting in what we call a home snack, which we like still to be a healthy choice for them to have. There's more details, as I say, in the handbook for those. About pupil premium children, especially if you were pupil premium at nursery, and how you can just apply to see if you're eligible for that extra funding, and about how to be kept informed. So it's a really, really good handbook. And as I say, if this was sent out when you received your school place, if you haven't had that, then please let us know, or please just pop by the school office and we can, we've got printed copies of everything as well if it's easier for you to pick up printed copies, because we appreciate not everyone's got a printer and have things to hand. And that's the same with the forms as well. If you need any of the other forms printed, then just pop in and we can we'll have some of those in the office ready for you to collect. So in the pack that was sent, in the welcome pack that was sent out with the welcome from Miss Swan back in April, there was also included a road to school poster, because lots of parents are quite keen to know what they could be doing to help their children get ready to start school. And it's really, really simple things, really. They're things like independency skills, because I appreciate that at home sometimes, especially if you're in a rush to get out the door, then putting coats and shoes on independently sometimes can be a bit of a rush. But the more the children can be exposed to doing it themselves, like putting their coats on, getting dressed is quite a big one. Going to the toilet, and what we call toilet confidence as well. We appreciate over this time the children won't have been going out as much to different places using different types of toilets, but children can become a bit too accustomed to just their own cosy little toilet at home, and so it's quite a good experience for them if and when you can, for them to experience different toilets, because we find that helps with the different kind of more communal toilets that we have in school. Just even things like washing hands, which actually the children become very accustomed to, and putting shoes on and things like that. In some preschools and nurseries, they've been encouraging children to recognise and write their name. Now, if your children are starting to show an interest, especially with writing in their name, that's great. If not, if they could just be able to kind of recognise their name, that's really helpful too, because on there, when they come into school and put their things away, they'll be looking for their names to hang up their kites and their drawers to put things away. Children love to count, and they'll be counting all the time. So things like counting rhymes and singing songs to help with their counting, a bit of their number recognition is brilliant to do. Friendships is also really important. If there are children that are coming up from their preschools, it'd be great for them to obviously keep some of those friendships going. Or if just to meet up with even children who aren't coming to school. There's the summer holidays, if the children aren't going to preschool or nursery still during the summer holidays, can be quite a long time without continue to develop those friendships. So even just meeting up with friends who have family, have children, it's just really important for their social skills and to keep that going. Sounds obvious, but independent eating, kind of teaching the children to start to use their knife and fork, really probably be able to cut things up. That's really important for when they're in that lunch hall, and there's lots of children obviously in the hall, which are lovely MD at midday supervisors are there to help. But if children can be as independent as they can with things like eating, and even just, I guess, trying new things, then that helps them with their eating journey in school. And also listening to stories, so children being able to listen and respond all helps with their listening when they come to school. So they're quite simple things that you can do a little bit here and a little bit there at home, just to help prepare them, which I'm sure lots of them are doing already. What we'll do is we'll explain a little bit more about Lunchtimes and how that works, and we'll send you out a menu in a couple of weeks, along with how to sign up for the Meet the Teacher meetings. I didn't want to bombard you with too much information all at once. If after watching this, and then after you've received and read through your induction pack, that you would like to talk things through with me, or you would like to have a chat, or you've got some further questions that I haven't quite answered yet, then please just email or call the school, and they will pass the message on to me and I will get back to you. Alternatively, if you have questions that might be, or things you wanted to tell your teacher before the Meet the Teacher meetings in September, then you could just send an email, and then we'll know that you want to chat to us at the taster sessions. That would be absolutely fine too. Okay, thank you for listening. We look forward to meeting you, and look forward to meeting the children on their taster sessions. It'd be nice to finally meet these children that I've been hearing about from the nurseries and preschools, and about how much they're looking forward to school. Thank you for listening, and we will see you soon.